Hey everyone, it's Amy with Dragonspit Apothecary. I am here to do our Friday, April 2nd Oils and Oracles. So welcome to a brand new month, brand new Friday Oracle readings. And if you're new here, welcome. So how this works is every Friday, I do an Oils and Oracle reading. So I pull Oracle cards, we talk about the meaning of them, and then I align each card to some recommended oils to use just to supplement the reading and give you a little extra something out of it. So I only recommend oils that I personally use in my home and on myself. And all the oils I personally recommend come from doTERRA. It's the only brand that I use. I don't mix my brands. I'm pretty, a lot of people are brand loyalists, and I guess I happen to be one when it comes to this. So if you want information about doTERRA, you can reach out to me at dragonspitapothecary.com. There is a chat button there. You can talk to me directly anytime, or you can leave comments here on the video, and I'm happy to respond that way too. Okay, so for this Friday, pulled 3 cards, and I'm using our Warrior Women set. I love these cards. They're so interesting. And I pulled 3 of them, one for this weekend, one for next week, and then one from the universe. Okay. So the first card that came up was the card of Diana. And Diana is the queen of the wilderness, okay? And it says that it's the language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue, and this was Diana's message, okay? So what this card is telling us is that it's time to connect with nature. Now, that could be just going outside and enjoying the sunshine and realizing that the answer sometimes really is that simple, right? Sometimes it really is just taking that minute to recharge and reconnect with, simpler things in life, okay? And being one with nature. Now, if you are not an outdoors person, I certainly understand that too. I love being outside, so you will definitely find me outside any chance I can get. But if you're not an outdoor person, here's the other way this can work is by bringing nature inside to you, whether that's a fresh bouquet of flowers, maybe that's some seashells, maybe it's pine cones, something that comes from nature that resonates with you, okay? So I aligned 3 oils to this, and this is the other way that you can very much connect to nature through this card. I aligned basil. Now, basil is a very strong essential oil. A little goes a long way with basil, but here's the reason I did that. Basil is actually the oil that you turn to when you're kind of feeling burned out, overwhelmed, things seem really complicated, and just not sure of the next step. Okay, and you kind of need that refreshing, you need to take a beat, okay, and figure out where you're going to go next. Basil is the perfect oil for that. Now, again, it's a very strong oil, so you don't want to be putting a whole bunch in the diffuser. What I like to do is actually take it in a capsule. And again, this is why I only use doTERRA, because they have really pure oils that you can do this with. I would not recommend ingesting oils that come from other brands that don't show you the transparency like doTERRA does. But basil is very detoxifying, and it helps clear out that, confusion, okay? And it helps that rejuvenation factor when you're feeling burned out, okay? Now, the other oil, the 2 oils that I put with this are actually doTERRA blends. Now, the first one is called Digest Zen. So a lot of times when we are feeling that need to reconnect, okay, we feel the stress in our digestive system. And it can feel really tight. It can feel really anxious, right? And we're not sure. We just feel all tight in our stomach. And Digest Zen is perfect for aligning on this. And what I mean by that is, for instance, if you get heartburn a lot or upset stomach, maybe a little IBS, a lot of that is stress related, right? And letting go of the stressors and reconnecting to the simpler things in life and, eating a good diet of fruits and veggies, eliminating the bad stuff, can really help reset and reconnect us, right? Okay, DigestZen is perfect for that. What I do with this oil, my favorite way actually is put a drop in my hand and I rub it from my throat to my belly button. And it really just helps eliminate a lot of digestive problems that I get associated with stress. All right, the next oil I put with this is called Aroma Touch. Now, this is actually a massage blend oil. And again, when you're talking about reconnecting, a lot of times that means touch. It's our sensation of touch and getting in touch and connecting back to what is important in our life. And the same can be true of touching nature and touching things that remind us of what's really important. Okay. Now, the way I like to use Aroma Touch, I actually use it on my son and husband quite a bit, is just down the spine, around the shoulders, the neck. Now, hopefully you got someone to do that for you because it feels wonderful, right? But if you don't, a great way to use this oil is just, again, drop in your hand. You feel the stress, and let it soak into your body, right? And actually, a great way to do this is to do that and then go outside, okay, and just let the sun warm you up. Okay, so that's this weekend. We need to connect with nature, and maybe even connect with our wild side if that's where it's leading you. Okay, the next card, and this is one for next week, is the card of Rabia. Okay, and she is the queen of saintly women. And it says that she's in service of divine love and move the way that love asks me to move. So, what this means is that it's inviting us rather, to love without condition, without judging, without, putting manipulation around it, and just love. Okay. And that includes not only the people around us and friends, family, whatever, but also ourselves. Okay. So if you think about that first card where we're connecting with nature, it makes sense that when you do that, you're releasing those constrictions, those limits, those things that were holding us back. And it does allow us to love more openly and without condition. Okay, so the oils that I put with this, Manuka. Manuka is so wonderful at healing, particularly with relationships. It's a wonderful healing oil. And it's just, whether that relationship is with yourself or with loved ones, it's a really great oil for that. Then I put frankincense. Well, nothing said to be there, right? Frankincense is good for everything. But when it comes to relationships, frankincense is a great oil for connection and for finding that unconditional love. Okay. And then the last oil I put with this was myrrh. Myrrh is another great ancient oil. All three of these are very old. Myrrh is fairly good at healing the skin, clotting blood, but it's also really good at healing a lot of the emotional hurts, kind of like Manuka. Okay, so that's for next week. Then the third is a card from the universe. And what came up was Kuan Lin. And if you don't know who she is, she is the goddess of compassion. So look, connecting with nature, loving without condition, and the goddess of compassion all coming to tell us we need to listen to our heart. And again, this goes to the whole message we just talked about with loving without condition, being kind to others, not passing judgment on ourselves or others, and really focusing on that full listen, right? Not thinking of our response, but actually listening to ourselves, to others, till we hear the whole thing, and then forming a response. So the three oils I put with this one, the doTERRA Serenity Blend, which is what I personally call lavender's big sister, because it's a lavender complex. It has a lot of other oils in it besides lavender, and it does kind of foster that serene feeling, right, where you can feel more open and calm and loved. Then I put Clary Sage, which Clary Sage is a high feminine oil. It's wonderful for um, fostering that peace and letting go of those resisting things that kind of keep us held back from opening ourselves up to love. And then I put lemon. So that might seem odd, but here's why. Lemon is very detoxifying. So you know how you put a drop of lemon in your water. Again, I only use doTERRA because I can trust ingesting them, but I'll put a drop of lemon in my water, and it's refreshing, it's light, it's doing good things for my body, similar to squeezing a lemon wedge in there. Well, when you think about listening, right? A lot of times when we're hearing someone talk, we're thinking of what to say next, and we're not listening to everything they have to say. Well, when you think about changing that behavior, it requires us to detox a little bit and change our way of how we communicate. And I think lemon is pretty important for that because it creates that alertness, that energy, that vibration for us to be able to do that successfully. So it kind of made sense to me to have a little lemon included with this, openness and supporting of that type of relationship, communication. Okay, so there you have it. That's our 3 cards for this week's Oils and Oracle. If you have questions, again, just leave them in the comments and check me out over at dragonspitapothecary.com. Thanks.